The Raptors get the job done, shorthanded, 111-106. Welcome to Raptors Tonight, live from Real Sports. I'm Randy here, joined by Sherman Hamilton, Alvin Williams, and Savannah Hamilton. That's for you. There's a lot of.
That's for everyone.
That's
for the show.
Here tonight.
This is your show. You're the host, man.
Sherman, I'll start with you. Just your first impressions.
Why do you ever start with Alvin when he's going after?
Because we look alike.
Oh.
That's what he said.
Oh.
What? That is.
I like how this show is started.
A lot of energy.
I like it. I like it.
This guy's got a problem.
Good to go. Let's go.
First impressions of the win tonight.
No, it's a good win. A win, it's hard to win the NBA, and it's always good when you win. And even though, there were moments in the game that were questionable, it's a young group. They're going to have to go through these up and downs. And I think, as much as you can learn during losing, it helps to learn during a win. Mm-hmm. It helps to get some positive reinforcement with the W. And actually the up and downs and the decisions that were questionable, they become clear when you look at it on tape after a win. So I think it's a good win. They got some good performances. And how young this team is, this is all about growth. This is all about development and getting better. And I thought they took a step in the right direction tonight without Scotty and then Jakob going down.
Yeah. Al, what stuck out to you?
I mean, Sherman hit it. It's an opportunity for all the guys to get in there, play. You saw Agbaji, you saw Awara, Grady, of course. You see all the players get in there and they get their opportunity. And when they get the opportunity, they make the most of it. And the biggest thing is not trying to do so much individually. Everything they was trying to do, they tried to do for the team. The hustle plays, the offensive rebounding, defensive assignments, all of those things. So it's really, really important. And then it's really important for IQ and RJ and these guys that's going to be here, hopefully, along with Scotty. It's good for them to get those reps as more valued, more touches, different responsibilities, more important responsibilities, so to speak. So I think it was a good win for the entire team.
Yeah. Sav, general thoughts?
Yeah, no, I think just kind of piggybacking off of Sherm's point, he's talking about learning through winning, but when you're in a situation like this where the franchise player goes down, Jakob Poeltl at the halftime went down, I think wins like these teach you how to win. Because there's lots of chat about, hey, just tank, just call it a day, wrap it up. At the same time, the argument for that is always, well, then you're teaching how to lose.
Right.
And I think with young players, with this core, you want to get that incentive. And also to your point, you said there's lots of things that you can piggyback off of and point out when you're looking through film. Well, I find that players are more receptive to feedback after a win because their headspace is, okay, well, we still got the job done, but how do we get it done better now? And so I think that's just a better energy. And so just kind of looking at this game and as a whole, I think this was a great growth game for this younger core.
That's a good point.
Sure, but I thought the defense was good too, right? I mean, they didn't hold them to under 100, but right around that 100 mark, and we haven't seen it at that level in a while.
Yeah, and Charlotte has struggled to score anyway.
Yeah,
4 of the last 5 games they've been
That's a
held
good
to
point.
99 points, but that doesn't take away from being able to execute on the defensive end. And I think a lot of times when we talk about what happens in a game, sometimes the focus for a team going into a game is, how are we going to play? Mm-hmm. We know what this team's going to do. We're going to build a scouting report. But on our end, how good can we execute our principles and our game plan? And I think they did a pretty solid job of that. And Charlotte's not a team that can't score 100 points. They can. Mm-hmm. They haven't, and the Raptors did their job by keeping them in that same position. So it was a solid game. There's a lot to learn from. Obviously, there's some things they can clean up. But when you can hold a team to under 100 points in this league with the way scoring is happening, you're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah. Ochai Agbaji got the start, in place of Scotty. I thought he was good. I mean, the percentage wasn't great from the field, but he was active. Had that huge dunk, alley-oop dunk. You were talking before the game, or before the show, about alley-oops not being, what were you saying?
It's a common play in the NBA.
Oh, right.
It's a common play, but it's everything that leads up to it, right?
Yeah.
It's the cutting, it's the timing, it's the delivery, it's the communication. There's so many athletic players in the NBA. There's so many skillful players. So we've been seeing alley-oops from pretty much day one. Wilt Chamberlain throw the ball up, somebody dunk it. But again, when you have an opportunity like Agbaji, well, he played. I thought he played his butt off. I thought he played great. I thought he did the things that no one else on the team was doing. Crashing offensive glass, getting extra possessions. And when you're undermanned or whatever the case may be, and you can get more opportunities to score, give me that all day. And I invite that, and he provided that. He provided energy. That block shot that he had on Miles Bridges.
Yeah.
Miles Bridges is one of the most athletic dudes in the league.
Yeah.
He met him at the rim. He met him at the backboard, got the ball, went.
And then he went coast to coast, finished. Yeah.
So who does that remind you of?
Right.
I'm not comparing the two,
Yeah.
but those are plays that Scotty makes, right?
Right.
Scotty makes plays like that. So you need a lot of people to get in the game and start putting their energy and their effort. Yeah, I'm sorry, you got the healthy bowl over there.
Yeah, I do.
But
You got a whole pizza for you.
no one's going to fulfill Scotty's shoes.
Yeah.
But a bunch of players that can make a bunch of plays, that'll help out tremendously.
Yeah, he's not just. I don't think he's just a 3-and-D guy, right? Like he.
I
looks
hate
like,
that title.
Yeah,
I hate that title. I tell you, he reminds me a lot of potentially, and I'm talking about when he was here, a Norm Powell. Like a Norm Powell that can come off the bench, that can provide a spark with his athleticism, ability to knock down an open shot. And if you play him, you don't play him, you start him, whatever, I think you can still get that same type of effort.
Yeah.
I don't know if you get the same production, but you get the same effort. And I think he has the potential to be a player like that for the Raptors.
What were you going to say about him?
Oh yeah, no, I'm just kind of like with the 3-and-D thing. That's something that he told me directly, that he wants to be established as a 3-and-D player on this team. But that being said, he also wants to have the opportunity to expand his role.
Yeah.
Going into tonight's game, he told me like in the locker room that he wanted to seek out like offensive aggression. And it's great that we saw it not just offensively, but also defensively as well. I think that also speaks volumes about the type of player he can be or is becoming. Although, you know, Coach Dark, I don't think he was a fan of the 20 attempts per se, because he was 6 for 20. But at the same time, you got to give him credit for even looking for his shot. And you're right. I think he's trying to fill that gap of Scotty being out. And the last thing I'll say is that he also took me back to his time with Utah when Lauri Markkanen was out. And he said that he felt the need to fill the gap there. And so he's kind of been used to the situation where one of your franchise players is out and having to kind of fill those bigger shoes for. So I think that's kind of the energy he brought out tonight.
6 of 20 is not bad because you make 4 more makes. Instead
Whatever.
6 of what?
6 to 20 is not good. We'll talk about making 4 more.
This is what I always
However,
look at it. If you
I
make
like
4
it.
more, it's almost 50. It's 50.
That's
Yeah,
still a
right.
lot.
That means that's 4 more
the eye
shots.
test,
Right.
though.
10 of 24.
No, I'm just saying if you'd made 4 more of those shots.
Right.
The eye test.
You know,
Yeah,
you probably had a couple,
math
probably a couple of gimmies in there. When you think about your basketball career,
Don't want to.
when, where, what was your biggest dunk? Because that dunk was pretty big tonight.
The dunk was nice.
What
Yeah.
dunk?
Let's
The
not.
alley-oop
But,
dunk?
yeah, it was good.
It was nice. It wasn't
was
his
nice.
great
He had a
thing.
better dunk this year. Like,
It wasn't
anyway,
a great
you talking
play. It was a
concern.
nice dunk.
It was an alley-oop
Here's,
dunk.
here's what I'd like to say
Yeah, but
about
there was a foul. There was a guy there. It was on someone.
You're like the hype guy for a rap group.
Hype man,
That's
right
got
man.
no lyrics. The group's got no lyrics. It's just hype the whole time.
Yeah, that's good. We need people like
I will say this. He was good in terms of a guy who was in position to take advantage of an opportunity.
Yeah.
I thought he was aggressive. I'm glad that a lot of his shots that he missed were at the rim. So he was trying to do the right thing, but he just didn't finish around the basket. Obviously, he didn't hit as many shots as he wanted to from the perimeter. But I do think when you're put in a position where you're given an opportunity, one thing you got to do is be responsible with it. And his energy and effort was great. However, I don't think anybody wants someone coming off in a game like that and shooting 20 shots unless you're on a heater.
right.
If you get the 20 shots, you might be 14 to 20, 12 of 20 or something like that. But when it's not working, you're going to have to figure out different ways to impact the game offensively. But I personally love his aggression.
Yeah.
I love the fact that he stepped into that starting role with confidence.
Let me ask you a question though.
Yeah.
All right, you see the 20 shots.
Yeah.
Can you name how many bad shots it was?
No, that's what I'm saying. I was shocked when I saw the
So if you
numbers.
have a player that gets the opportunity to take 20 shots,
Yeah.
obviously the coach would not have him in that game if he wasn't bringing something else that was more valuable than his misses.
Right.
Right.
But he had
Like,
9 rebounds too,
Yeah,
right?
he had
Yeah.
nine. He had 9 rebounds. I think 4 or 5 offensive rebounds. Defensively, he wasn't out of his shifts. He wasn't out of his rotations. And it was times when the game started shifting in the Hornets' favor. I saw Coach Darko just going, call Agbaji,
right,
like
right.
you're bringing something that we're just missing. So a lot of times,
Yeah.
it's easy for people to look at the stats and say, oh man, like they didn't watch the game at all and say, oh, 6 for 29, hey, he sucked today.
Yeah.
Not at all. So a lot of times we get caught up with that, and that's how I was kind of say that 3-and-D, that title, you want to be more than that. You want to be more than somebody, because if you start getting roasted on defense and you miss 3 3-pointers, now you're out the game.
Then what are you?
You want to be something else.
Yeah.
You want to be much more. And I think at the end of the day, I didn't even realize he took 20 shots. I looked and saw he was a plus 20 at one point.
Right.
Right? So, of course, you want to make shots. You want to score the points. But I don't think his missed shots really hurt the team to an element where he shouldn't have been playing what he played.
And that's my point.
Yeah.
He was trying to get to the bucket. He was missing it around the bucket, and we all hear this. Mistakes of aggression, coaches can handle. When you're aggressive, whether you're jumping over someone's back and you get called for an offensive foul, or you're driving through somebody and you get called for a charge, mistakes of aggression you can deal with as long as the other things are happening on the floor, and he's doing the other thing.
So what was your biggest dunk? Because they called you fly guy?
Who
right?
did?
People.
You're just
people
making
said-
stuff
Oh,
up.
no, I heard,
The streets.
I heard that. Did you hear that?
See, you're on the island right now.
Fly guy?
Tell me what was your
Do you
biggest
hear-
dunk?
do
Do
you
you not
hear-
have one?
Do you hear the crickets chirping
No,
on the
tell
island?
me. You don't,
It's
do you have-
nighttime,
do you have
too.
a
You can't
big-
even see in
Do you have
front
a
of you.
big dunk? Like a big, like either in high school, college?
You trying to play me, dog.
No, I'm not.
That man said he's trying to stay sucker free in 2024.
2024. He already warned me, pulled my coattail that I was slipping up a little bit. I'm not going backwards.
I'm
Trying to stay
This was a
sucker-free.
good opportunity for him to say, hey, I could fly back then, and I had a dunk in college.
Well, when he
and
want
I
to say it, let him say it.
Was it an alley-oop?
wasn't
Because
that
it really isn't
Why
that
ain't
important.
next Savannah
Exactly.
when her biggest dunk
She's
was?
next. When
Oh,
you
yeah,
made
yeah,
a
it
dunk.
was as
Why-
big as Randy's biggest dunk.
Oh,
Shots fired. Wait, what does that mean? So you can fly. I got you. Yeah.
Randy told me, I said, explain your game. Guess what he said? I was a scorer.
We don't need to.
How many points did you average? As a freshman, I averaged 5. Come on, dog.
not even a .2, just a flat 5.
Anyway, I know you got questions, dog.
Okay.
Okay.
After that, I'm done. After that, I'm done.
You just got dunked on.
Yeah. Sav, another good game from Quickly. Like,
Yeah.
what are you seeing from him?
I mean, I feel like it's natural. I don't think
Yeah.
he's like forcing the matter. I think he's really in his rhythm right now. He knows that balance between scoring as a point guard, because that's really what the point guard position kind of has become now, obviously. But then also that balance of finding his teammates at the right spot, the right position. And so games like tonight really emphasize that. And that's exactly why, that was my walk-off interview, because the team needed him down the stretch. And not only did he come composed throughout the game, he really hit those crucial free throws to put it away as well.
Right. I heard the coach was talking about RJ and talking to him that he wanted him to play a little bit more like Manu Ginobili, and it turned out that RJ Barrett's favorite player was Manu Ginobili growing up. Just saying that he could be that kind of a playmaker. He could score, he can distribute the ball. Do you see that he has that type of, he could exhibit those types of plays?
This was a
Yeah,
conversation.
I mean, RJ's showing when you look at his stat line, just numbers-wise, he's going to put assists up, he's going to rebound, he's going to score. He's been ultra efficient in his time in a Raptor uniform. He's been phenomenal from an efficiency standpoint. So there's no question, but it's how you do it. Manu Ginobili had this wildness to his game that only he knew what was going on.
Right.
And it just threw everybody off.
Right.
But he knew, and it even threw his team off sometimes. But he knew what he was doing, and he was a risk taker, very highly intellectual basketball player, tough as nails. So RJ does have some of those qualities, but it might not look the way Manu did it.
Right.
But RJ can stuff the stat sheet, and he can impact the game on both sides.
So the coach said
He said, I want you to play a little bit like look at what Manu played like. And he was showing him clips of that. And
That's
and
interesting, because I don't I would I'm surprised that any coach would want a player to play like Manu.
Yeah.
I think they want his results.
Right.
Like the results, of course, but I even think Popovich probably aged about 3 or 4 years. But to your point, he had a recklessness to his game, but he knew how to play it.
Yeah.
He was somebody where the game is today, when you talk about game changers, the game is today where when you talk about flopping, when you talk about getting fouls, when you talk about certain things like that.
right.
Like, he is the guy.
Yeah.
Like, he's the guy, and a lot of rules changed because of him. Because of the way he went to the basket and his hair would flop as he'd go back and things like that. But he's a guy also, so that's not something that a player, I don't think you can teach him or show him how to be, because that's something he just had.
Right.
Like, he had that.
But RJ's, I think, a better playmaker than I thought. Maybe
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of fans that maybe didn't watch him as often in New York.
Of course. I mean, I think that I don't even know if you necessarily, even if you did watch him, you could still argue that he's a better playmaker now than he was in New York. And that's my poke bowl.
I know, but just in case.
You're scared.
A little bit.
All right,
I'm a little
fair
jealous,
enough.
but I didn't want you to.
I could tell. That's what the healthy comic kid.
Yeah, I mean-
Anyways, he's a better playmaker with the Raptors. I think the opportunity for him here, starting and just having full, almost a longer leash, honestly.
Yeah.
I think that served him well. Going back to the Manu Ginobili conversation, that's something that actually him and I have also talked about as well. He just resonates with the fact that he's a left-handed player just like him. That's where he first kind of saw in Ginobili's game. But then outside of that, he loved his decision making and the fact that he was able to pass the ball. So I think when you're talking about Manu Ginobili and RJ, I think it's more of that playmaker mindset rather than stylistically play for play. I mean, I'm sure there's some similarities. The game of basketball is a game of basketball. You could draw it from anyone, but maybe even Alvin Williams with Sherman or something like that. But that being said, it's one of those if the mentality is there, the decision making.
Wait.
How you
Before
feel
you
about
go
that,
down,
Sharon?
before
I'm
you
just
go down
asking-
that path, I just want to finish up on RJ. RJ is showing us how intellectual of a basketball player he is. When you see him play and you see him kind of assess what's happening, watch him off the ball. Watch the timing of his cut.
Yeah.
Watch where he cuts. He's reading the other 9 players and he's understanding where to fit at the right time. And that's not just randomly happening. That's him understanding the game and understanding next play, next pass. He's showing us more than just a neck down. He's showing neck up as well. What was your question now?
No.
We're done?
But no.
I'm glad we killed that.
But yeah, we killed that one. But a lot of times when young players like an RJ, he'll come in. Was it third? He was a third pick, second. RJ third pick, second. Zion, Ja, it's the third pick. A lot of coaches and organizations will take a player like that, see his scouting report, see a few games in college, and put him in their system. They really won't work with him and see what he has, right? It seems like in Toronto, they're really working with him, setting him up for success, lining him up on the right side of the floor, getting to that left hand, opening up the floor for him where he can make these decisions and he can see. Like, a lot of players really can't see a lot of things, especially early on and when the game is going so fast. But I think the combination of what Sherm said and Savanna said, he's smarter than people gave him credit for. He understands the game more than people gave him credit for, and along with the coaches put him in the right situation for him to be successful. So I think it's a great combination. I would love love to see him change his speeds more. It seems like when he starts saying, I'm going to go, he goes.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him manipulate the game a little bit more. And that comes with time. But, man, I'm ecstatic to see the player that he is. Because I can't lie. When he first came, I was like, this guy's a one-trick pony. He's going to get downhill. He's going to go through. That's what I saw in college. And that's what I saw in New York. But he's showing so much more, man. And I'm happy to see how he's progressing.
All right, let's pause it now and welcome in our fan of the night. Please give a round of applause to Michelle Smith. Come on in, Michelle. Get in here.
Hey.
How are you?
Hey.
Microphone for you.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to be here. Hi.
Hey.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, how you doing?
Nice to meet you. Oh my God.
How
I'm
are
so
you?
excited. I'm good.
All
I'm
right,
good.
good. Do you have a
Wow.
question or a comment for the panel?
Yeah. So with Scotty out of the roster, who do you think would benefit the most from the extra playing time besides RJ and Quickly?
It's a good question.
Thank you.
Take that one.
I'm just eating.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
Besides who?
Besides RJ and Quickly.
Besides
Because
RJ
they're
and Quickly.
clearly killing it
Everybody
right
else
now.
on the roster. There's such a young roster that this is all opportunity.
Yes.
I mean, when you look at who's getting into the game and how much minutes they're getting,
Yeah.
I mean, players know this. When they get on the floor now, there's a bit more of a leash. They make a mistake, they might not get pulled out right away. So you can play a bit freer in those scenarios instead of the full rosters there. And you know when you get on there, you've got a tight leash and you better get it done right away. So that helps. And you look at all the guys that are helping out. Mora's helping out. Carton's helping out. You know, all these guys that are deeper into the rotation are helping out. So I think the opportunity is there for all of them. Now, RJ and Emmanuel, they have the ability to step into a unique space as leaders and guys who take over games and run it. But those other guys all have a chance to play a peg up and get some opportunities to show what they can do, not only to the Raptors, but to the whole league.
That's true.
You guys have anyone specific?
No, I agree 100% with Sherman. The thing about it is, as tricky is, Scotty's still learning. And we've seen Scotty up here, we've seen Scotty in there. So it's like that balance. But what Scotty brings every night is, he brings versatility. He brings the ability to do multiple things on the floor. And I think when you miss that, then everyone else has to pick their game up because you need more assisting, you need more playmaking, you need size, you need defensive ability, you need scoring, you need a lot of things. So now as a coach, you're like, all right, I have one player doing all of those things. I gotta find, that's what makes Scotty so special. Because he can do everything. So now I gotta find Randy to do that, I gotta find Brandon to do that. So it's like one of those things, but it's, as always, whether Scotty's in there, those players really have to find and have the mindset of saying, every chance I get, I gotta show and prove. I gotta show and prove. And a lot of people fail to realize you're not just playing for your team. You're playing for your team, but you're auditioning for the other 29 teams. So you really gotta understand that, especially when you're young.
Yeah, or on a two-way.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You ready to give it your shot?
Yeah,
Spin
absolutely.
and a shot. Let's do it.
Yeah, thanks for answering.
Let's go.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for
Come on
answering.
over.
That was great.
I'll take the mic. You got to give it a spin. We got tickets up there. We got a scarf. We got, give it a spin. Yeah. We got tickets. We got a t-shirt, hoodie, belt bag. Sherm loves that. Scarf, hoodie. Nice.
Oh, okay.
All right.
That's cool.
Hoodie's good. I went and bought it personally. There's the line. You got 3 chances to get it in.
Oh, shit, lefty.
Oh!
You're a lefty.
All right, here
I
we
see
go.
you.
Yeah.
You got it.
That's good right there.
One more.
Don't fall back. Just stay straight up there. Finish on your toes.
Oh!
Good coaching, coach.
One more.
You almost hit the TV.
One more.
No, you do your thing. Yeah, do your thing.
You're good.
Let's hear it from the crowd. Let's go.
That's
One more. Little more.
Got it.
No. You gotta take your time. Take your time.
Why don't we just pretend that went in? Here's your hoodie.
Wow.
Oh, it's a nice hoodie, though.
You have a little shout out you want to give anybody watching at home?
I'd like to shout out my partner, Lenny, for bringing me to Real Sports tonight. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey.
To my bestie, Renee, that might be watching right now, and all my loved ones.
All right.
And the Raptors. Let's go, Raptors.
You shoot that, I'll close the show. Next game for the Raptors, Tuesday versus New Orleans.
And the person that got
Tip off.
There you go.
After the game, come on by Real Sports, be part of the show. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Hey,
Thanks, Michelle.
call a maintenance person to fix a TV from that brick.